Welcome back to the Colonel Channel and welcome to Retreat. And for those of you that don't know, Retreat is the end of the day in the military. So in the morning, you get up to Reveille. That is the beginning of the duty day. And in the evening, Retreat is sounded as another bugle call, and that signifies the end of the duty day, and that is followed by the national anthem. So that's where the idea of Retreat is coming from, and it's Bruce and I having a beer. Decided to use a 2019 case to sort of try out this new Retreat format, and it's just Bruce and I, kind of what lawyers do, having a beer, talking about things. And so I wanted to record that and just try to get a little bit different perspective to you about just normal life of a lawyer is like everybody else. After work, you have a beer. So you're welcome to kind of join us and check it out. Let us know what you think about it. But this is the new segment called Retreat After Hours.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
First of all, I wanted to say, hey, buddy, thanks for making me your Laverne and Shirley to your Happy Days. My spin-off here is
You
what
realize that date's your reference. Nobody fucking knows what that means anymore.
I've been watching your videos.
Yeah.
And I really like how you lean forward into the camera and you talk about your qualification. One of the things I wanted to do is see if you could give me lessons, like how you do that. I'm an FAA qualified, Army qualified aviator, but I want to say it with that conviction like you do. You say it with such, honestly, I mean, I feel like I want you to represent me, and I think I'm a pretty good lawyer.
I think you probably need a lawyer.
I certainly went to law school to save myself legal fees, I'll tell you that. I'm doing a calculation of if I have to hire my lawyers my whole life for all the stuff that I potentially could be, I guess, liable for.
Yeah.
Or I invest my time and money into law school. It was actually a benefit to me to go to law school. I've never had it. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I did notice this is 5%.
I usually don't drink beer either because it adds to my gut.
Yeah, it adds to the gut.
So usually I have red wine, but
I was on the website.
Yeah.
Kind of checking out your stuff. I noticed you had merch on there. But one thing I also wanted to show you, because you've been invited to the law firm 5Ks for about 20 years. We have them every year, Bruce.
I don't even recall.
See, that's how insignificant it is to you. But I wanted to point something out that you've got merch, but I was ahead of you here. So for the 8th annual, which you did not attend.
I did, and I didn't even know when it was.
Yeah, so this one here, I like this one. This one says...
you have the right to remain silent.
So
shut the fuck up. If you've already said too much, I can't help you at all.
Is that what it says?
Put your head between your legs
kiss your ass goodbye.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
Pilot charged with trying to fly drunk.
National has those details. Good morning, David.
Morning, Robin. While this is a story about a pilot getting into the cockpit, it's also a story about security personnel and surveillance cameras and how quickly they can track somebody in an airport. This morning, watch as this Delta pilot, accused of being intoxicated, makes it through initial security as he's getting ready to fly from Minneapolis to San Diego. But when Gabriel Schroeder gets close to his gate, a random secondary check is set up. As he sees what's happening, police say his demeanor changes. When asked to put his bag on the table, he tells police, "I'm not ready," and turns and walks away. Suspicious, officers ask that the pilot be tracked through the airport, and these surveillance cameras show the 37-year-old finding an escalator, heading down a floor to a men's bathroom in late July. He's in that bathroom for only 30 seconds, where police say they later found a bottle of vodka stuffed in one of the trash cans.
If it weren't for stupid maneuvers, we wouldn't have work.
I have this, like, you have a don't be a self-snitcher. My thing is don't be a dumbass.
Well, here's the thing. When you're dealing with chemical dependency, how many times do you think he actually got away with it?
That's the scary part.
These are very high-functioning individuals, and sometimes if they're true alcoholics, like hardcore alcoholics, they probably can't function without it.
Myself, I'm already, 2/3 through this, and I think we're only 3 minutes into this.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess certain things speak for themselves.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
you just gotta know when to put this down. Let's
watch
the
rest of this guy.
Telling an officer he had to go back to the pilot's lounge to get his iPad. Schroeder passes and gets on the jetliner into the first officer's seat, but police officers board and ask the pilot to leave the cockpit.
For a pilot, he looked a little disheveled, like he had the white with the epaulets and that, but it was dire need of an ironing. It was kind of a schleppy look.
Authorities say when they tested the pilot's blood alcohol level 2.5 hours later, it was under the limit. But authorities say when he was in the cockpit, he was likely over the limit for pilots. The 37-year-old pilot initially denied.
All right, so what is the legal limit?
Well, it's 8 hours bottle of throttle. It's 0.04 as far as blood alcohol concentration. So it's the same as you would a commercial driver.
You could fly with 0.04?
Yeah. And if you watch some other,
It
commentary
should
about
be not a drop.
That's exactly what you see a lot of commentators say. Like they're surprised. 0.04? You got to be kidding me. That should be 0.
So he's boarded the aircraft, and he gets tested 2 hours later.
Yeah.
So he's 0.04. You can extrapolate that back.
Correct.
So he was probably 0.06 at the time he was put his ass in the seat of the airplane.
Most airlines these days, they have a 0 tolerance. So
Well, you lose your job.
yeah, you lose a good job actually.
Yeah.
So. Well, let's see whatever happened. He denied discarding the vodka. Let's see what else.
Discarding the vodka and said he had 3 drinks and a beer the night before.
Actually, this says very good things about airport security personnel going beyond just checking boxes and maintaining a high level of situational awareness.
Schroeder faces 2 charges. Some pilots do jail time, like these 2 United pilots busted in Scotland. Others, did you put 270 passengers at risk?
No comment.
Like this JetBlue pilot, gave up his pilot's license and never went to trial.
The JetBlue guy?
Now, that Delta pilot who was arrested back in July is due in court in November. How often does this happen? According to the statistics, the latest statistics, it's about once every month in the U.S. that a pilot is arrested.
No shit.
Guys?
I didn't know that. Once every month. Wow. And I had no idea that this was so common. I would have thought this was more of a. You would just think that pilots would be smarter than that. This is.
My experience with pilots is that, especially military pilots, because what did you say? There's no
Residual.
You can't use the word fun and safe in the same
Well,
sentence.
you're not supposed to say that on camera.
That's
I have,
you said it on camera.
I know. Okay. I've seen your videos. I see. Tell me what that means.
That's from one of our videos, because we had one of the rappers that got popped, and so we played one of his songs and.
Oh, that's what's in the song?
And that's in the song.
I always tell the story about how you started this with the guy that had the lyrics that basically were the confession of the entire crime. That's where this whole thing started. Don't be a self-snitcher.
Yeah, YNW Melly.
That's right. Well, thanks for coming over. Let's go. So this is the one on the camera and at the house.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go get a real one